Hi, welcome back. In this part, I just want to quickly cover the creation of the proxy objects we'll be using later in Marvelous Designer to create the cloth. Now, because we're going to be simulating this cloth over the top, we want to keep these objects as simple as possible. So compared to some of the stuff we modeled, this will be really easy. One thing we do need to know is dimensions. So I looked up online before I made these, and I've got a couch that's around 2 meters by around 90 centimeters high, 85-90 centimeters high, and the seat is at about 40 centimeters. So this is kind of the general dimensions for a couch. So let's just quickly create a proxy object, which again would just be something for simulation purposes that we can use to drape cloth over. Let's start out with a simple polycube, and I'm going to center this on the grid. So I'm going to put y to 0.5, which will poke it upwards. Alright, now we need the dimensions for it. So we know that it's around 2 meters long. Oops, and that's not the one we wanted. We want rotate. We don't want rotate, sorry. So now my couch is around 2 meters long. Okay, and I'm going to just eyeball the width. It's going to be around sort of 50 centimeters-ish. So about there, maybe a little thicker. Okay, and as for the height, we know now that we want this to be around 40 centimeters off the floor. Okay, so I'm actually going to have to put this Y to 20 to get that to sit on the grid. Alright, and if I hit shaded view, I can see maybe my couch should be a little bit deeper. Again, you can use exact measurements. I just happen to have looked this up online to know this is anywhere from sort of 50 centimeters to 85 centimeters on the width. Alright, so there's the basic height. Now we need to put the arms and the back on. So I'm just going to insert some edge loops. And again, you know, compared to a lot of the stuff we've done, this is really simple. Okay, so let's jump into face mode. And what we'll do is extrude this one upwards till it hits around 90 centimeters. And we can come back and do a precise measurement later. So that was 40, so we'll look at this to be about 45, and that will give us 85 centimeters. Okay, now the chair arms. So once again, we'll just extrude these upwards. And that's around 20, that should be about 25, there we go. And I'll type the value in so they're exactly the same height on both sides. Okay, so there's a basic, really simple proxy object of a couch. The problem is that I don't want these sharp edges, so if I smooth, this is going to happen. This is no good. So we're going to have to put in here some control edges to control the smoothing. But before I do that, I want this to be one object, because at the moment, if we were to take, say, this vertex here and move it outwards, you'll see, and as we've seen before, it's not joined together, and we've got two faces together, which is not good. So let's just correct that. Let's start by putting an edge loop in here, approximately the same height. We can then come in and just take these vertex and merge, and once again merge, and just do the same on the other side. And just G to repeat the last command. Okay, and that should be all of those merged in now. Alright, so now when I smooth, it will be a little better. You don't get those large holes in it, but still not great. Okay, so let's just check that this is about the right proportion. And for me, this is maybe a little high off the floor. So let's correct that. Let's just take these vertex here and move them downwards till I get the height I want off the floor. There we go. And then just grab these ones up here. And see, with these proxy objects, they're really nice and easy to kind of reshape, move around, you know. So let's put in some control loops for our smoothing. So one there, and I want quite a big kind of slope, so when I hit 3, I want this to be you know, fairly rounded, as so. And this obviously is going to need some more control loops, so let's put those in. Whoops, that's extrude, don't want that. Alright, let's just get one here. And let's see here. One here. I mean, this is basically the same as we've done. Looks like we might have an unmerged vert there somewhere. Let's just check that. Yeah, we do. I can see it. So let's merge that up. Okay. And let's just check. Let's just click somewhere else. There we go. No, that's looking pretty merged. Okay. So I must have missed one there somewhere. So back to insert edge loop. Okay, there we go. And we're going to need one here, and one down here, and one down here. Now you'll notice with this proxy object I'm not being too exacting. It's really not necessary. It's just going to have that cloth draped over it. Alright, let's have a look. So there we go. Pretty smooth. And you know, obviously if you were going to use this as a high poly model, something you would actually be displaying, you'd take a bit more care. And I've got double faces inside here. So if we have a look inside the piece, I can see some faces that should not be there. So that would need to go, and that doesn't look right to me. No, okay. So finding these can be a bit tricky. There we go. Done. Alright, when we smooth we won't get that nasty pinching now. There you go, it's a little better. It looks like I might have some double faces down there as well. So let's have another look inside the object. And there's one. Nasty and nasty. There we go. And as I say, it's not a bad representation of a couch right now. But the thing is that Marvelous Designer is not going to pay any attention to Maya's viewport smoothing. So we're going to have to actually subdivide this. So let's go to 1. And just double check we're happy with it. And I think these arms might be a little bit too high in the sky. So let's just, nice simple object like this. We could just take these vertex here. Make sure we got them all. And just shove them down a bit. There we go. Let's just check that smooth's okay. That's fine. Right, the smoothing will just stop the cloth kind of catching on any hard areas. You're not actually going to see this model, so it's not kind of imperative. And let's just go to Edit Mesh. And let's subdivide this. Mesh Smooth, sorry. Okay. That way we get the smoothing, and Marvelous Designer will be able to obey this. Now, as we did with the bed, I'm going to call up the Facer script we've used before. So just Facer in the mailbox here. And I'm going to hit Auto Cleanup. And then I'm going to triangulate. Okay. So, you know, now I've got pretty much a very low amount of polygons. Certainly low enough. The less polygons you've got, the faster your simulation's going to go. And, you know, unlike traditional modeling where we try and keep everything in quads so the edge loop tools still work, the simulation program's going to convert this to polys anyway. So I rather do it myself and, you know, clean up any little errors that might happen during that process. In this case it's fine. So I'm going to duplicate this object. In fact, before I do anything else, I'm just going to duplicate that so I've got the original to work on, and then I'll auto clean up and triangulate. Okay, then I'm going to duplicate this one, move it over, and I'm going to use this as the template for the armchair. So basically I'm just going to go like so. Okay, until I get a size I'm happy with for an armchair. So sort of about there. Okay, and you know, you could tweak these models fairly easily, depending on what you want, but that looks fine for me. That's couch and armchair. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so that gives me my two proxy objects from Marvelous Designer alongside my original. Now, to make our life a bit easier, when we go into Marvelous Designer, we're going to want some animation on these chairs. So I'll get into that in the Marvelous Designer portion. But what I would like to do now is model a cushion. So let's come back to our original chair here. Let's go to polygons, and I need this as a separate piece of geometry. So we'll come up here and we're just going to make a big cushion. Okay, so I'll just get it to size. Alright, easier like so. Nope, wrong one. And you want to leave a little bit of room at the sides of the settee, and indeed the back as well. Okay, so this is going to act as our cushion. It's actually going to push our cloth downwards in Marvelous Designer, and maybe it's a bit thick. Whoops, object mode. Okay, so that's about right. There we go. Alright, so let's do one copy for this proxied settee, and again it's a bit sharp around the edges, so really simple to fix. Let's just go to object mode and the right tool, interactive split, and one there, one there. Okay, so nice and quick. Hit 3 to make sure that's smoothed out alright, and it has. So we'll just do the same with this to create the lowest amount of polys possible, because it won't won't obey that viewport smoothing. I'm going to have to mesh smooth. Then I'll come in and use the auto cleanup, which gets rid of a lot of geometry, and triangulate. Okay, so that's a nice simple cushion for us there. And then of course just control duplicate across and get it to the right size for this one. So about so and about so. Okay, so in the next parts we'll start to really delve into Marvelous Designer. I mean, these proxy objects, as you've seen, are really simple to model. You can make a variety of different couch shapes, maybe the arms a bit longer, back a bit lower, however you want. It is important to have these as a separate cushion, because when we start with MD, we'll look at exporting out vertex animations from Maya. So basically we'd start with the cushion up here, put the cloth on in Marvelous Designer, and then have the cushion push the cloth down into place. It's a really nice way of shaping cloth using animations from Maya. So we'll be taking a look at that in a minute. So I hope you found this somewhat useful, and I will see you in the next part. Thanks for watching.